Hawaii's #1 for hip hop. I'm KC. That's Romeo Valentine. And joining us here, a very special guest, Brett Berish. Well, good afternoon now here, right?
Yeah.
KC Romeo, thanks for having me on. And it's 5 o'clock Eastern time, so I'm ready.
Yeah, that's cool. You know, it's lunchtime here, but we're just so excited because, man, you have incredible brands. You have an incredible success story, and you just have incredible, I'll say, relationships with people. It's just everything about you. I know I've seen a lot of your interviews, your videos. You're just a likable guy.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I have alcohol to give, and everyone wants to go with alcohol.
Oh man.
Now, before we actually get into the talk about relationships and how important relationships is to you, because we know how important relationships is to you. You know, musical artists that you work with, but let's talk about the products first. Let's talk about Brett. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Brett.
I'm from Chicago. I grew up in Chicago. I was a lost boy for many, many years. Didn't know what he wanted to do.
Right.
I found my happiness when I started this company in my 30s. I've been doing it for 22 years now. I'd like to think I've got 2 more brands coming. So I'd like to think I will be on my 6th or 7th successful brand. I've got 6 kids in addition, and I treat my brands just like my kids. I gotta micromanage them and make them grow up to be brands on their own.
Well, you're busy. 6 kids. That's about the number. I've come from a family of 6. I mean, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, you sure you're not part Filipino or?
I'm very lucky, very fortunate, and I got a 1-year-old. How's that? And that's
wow.
I got my next 20 years planned. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. Wow. Good. Well, you set your 1-year-old up for college already, you know, with your brands.
Exactly.
Well, that's pretty cool. So, I mean, okay, what we got right here, okay, of course, some very popular situations. Which is your newest? Is it the McQueen?
No, it's Vion. Vion's my newest.
Okay.
We just launched it about 6 months ago. It competes in the cognac category against brands like Hennessy, Cavassier, and even liqueur brands like Grand Marnier. It's an amazing, cool brand. It's tastes different. It's premium. You got that the sword and snake logo, and Vion is named after our patriarch Francois Villon, who was a 14th century poet. He was an iconoclast. He was a badass. He went against the grain. He was ultimately killed by a monk, and some people say that the word villain comes from his name, Villon.
Wow.
You know, it's fascinating how I'm sure each one of these brands, right, these outlets, it's got a story. That's very fascinating. Yeah. He's got a story for it. Is that what?
No, I'm curious.
Brett, when you get into it, when you create one, you from the start, from the get-go, you really conceptualize all these things and what you're going to name it and why it's going to be named like this and who you're going to be competing with in what space. You have all that in your mind, right?
Everything you just said is spot on. I can't launch a brand unless I can talk to both of you and honestly say it's the best and it tastes the best. And there's a reason why it tastes the best and it has the best story and it's a beautiful package and it's got to have everything or otherwise I can't launch it. I won't put it out in the market. And you're right. Every one of my brands has a story. They weren't built in a lab. We're not some giant company who's shooting for earnings and trying to fill a hole. This comes out of pure love of drinking. That's where it starts. and trying to figure out, okay, I like cognac. I understand the category. Now, how can I make the product better? And that's my job. I need to make a better product out there so that when you taste it, you're like, wow, this is really good. This is different.
Now, was there a reason? Now, before you said you started when you turned 30, right? Was there a reason why you got into this space? What was the one reason that you got into the space?
Well, one, I grew up in the business. My dad was in the liquor industry, worked for the same company for 45 years. Yeah. And he has no hobbies. I have no hobby. You learn from your parents, right?
Right.
You follow their lead. The difference here was my dad didn't want us going in the liquor business.
Right.
He wanted us to, and when I say us, my brothers and I, something easier, something better, something faster, something where you could, make more money.
Originally, you were not interested in getting into this space.
I always wanted to do it.
Okay.
I always had ideas, Casey. I always, back in grade school and high school, I had ideas for liquor brands.
Right.
The problem with me was I had so many ideas, whether it's in the liquor space or any other space, I just didn't know what to do. It's hard. If you have lots of ideas, it's really hard to pick one, if you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Right.
And that was my biggest mistake, is I never picked one. And it wasn't until I was about 31, 32, where I said, screw it, enough. I quit my job and in finance. And I said, I want to be in the liquor space. I want to do this. I love this.
Man, you sound like me. I'm 32 now, and I was doing 2 jobs, and I just left one, and I was and it's exactly where I'm at. Is I have all these ideas, and I'm finally at a point where I've grown, and I'm picking one right now, and it's time to run with. That's why I left the job, so because I was doing 12 to 15 hours, plus I was working full-time radio, and it's like, so that's a really great story. So that's the start, is what you're saying, to just pick one.
And for me, it's the same feeling for Romeo. For me, it was, the hard part was just picking something, because I was always afraid if I pick one, maybe it's the wrong one, the wrong direction.
Mm-hmm.
And once I picked this, it just opened my eyes, like, okay, I like this. I like what I'm doing. And you know what? The ideas never stop. They never stop coming.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the key is, if you get good at one thing, then it creates more opportunities. And that's exactly what happened. It wasn't easy. Trust me, there was a 6-7 year period in my space, in the liquor space, that was just horrifying, but I got through it. And I absolutely love what I do. And when it feels right, it's easy. It's easy. And this feels right.
So would you say what would be the formula, okay, because of what you've been through? If you can tell somebody the formula that you had to create, or you went through the things that you had to endure to get to the place, of course it took, you say that was a 7-year period. A lot of people only see the outcome, but they don't see the building process.
Yeah, no, for me, it was, oh God, a whole bunch of things. The mistakes I made, so the mistakes over that first, call it 6-year period, is why I'm successful today. So I'm a huge believer in try things. You're going to make mistakes, just pivot quickly. I believe in that. I think the other is, the mistakes I made back then were everything from, I didn't trust my instincts. I didn't trust my gut. I assumed everyone else is smarter than me, and everyone else, I should listen to them. They're in the industry longer. They know what to do. And that was my mistake, is not trying to be like everyone else and not trying to be me. And once I started, 2 things happened, Romeo. Once I realized shit doesn't happen fast, and you just got to be patient. Patience helped me greatly. And the second part, I just started trusting my instincts. And you know what? When they told me about Bel Air, this brand, when I launched this, everybody in my industry said, don't put it in a black bottle. It'll never work. Don't launch rosé first. You got to do a brut. Don't do it. You can't compete against the big guys like a Moet and Bouv. And now it's the #1 single champagne in the United States.
Wow.
But the younger version of me would have changed everything. I would have changed everything. But that's hard. And it's something I just had to learn. I had to learn the hard way.
So you would say the biggest mistake that anybody can do coming into the space would be kind of like listening, or just adapting to what everybody else says?
I think you can't, you can't be another Rick Ross. You can't be Wiz Khalifa. You can't eat salad. You got to pick your lane of who you are and own that. And that's what I started doing. Trusting my instincts, and not, you can hear people, and you can take something you never thought about before, but own what you're doing. And this is what I'm doing, so my rum, I don't know if you do have it. My rum, Bamboo. When I launched this 4 or 5 years ago, my industry said, don't do it. You should do tequila. That's the hot thing. Bamboo is the #1 premium rum now in probably the world.
Wow.
And I wasn't chasing a category. I wasn't following stats and numbers. It felt right. This is the right thing to do. I believe in this brand. I believe what I'm doing. So those things to me work.
Wow. See, that's the thing. I think that's why so many artists love you, because they want to surround themselves with success and, and just a person who just loves them back. I think it's more than just business with you. It's an actual passion.
Yeah. Romeo, I think, well, I'm wearing, I picked it up at my house yesterday, a watch. If you can see, it's a Rolex.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's the most expensive thing I own.
Wow.
And it was given to me by Rick Ross.
Wow.
So he gave me the watch. I didn't give it to him. He gave me the watch. And to me, that's what I'm trying to do is I don't want to do transactions. I want to have relationships. I want to have real, organic, natural relationships where this is not 1 year, it's not 6 months, it's not a deal. We're building something. And that's the value. And so to me, everything it's got to be real. It's got to be authentic. I want people who I want to be around, who want to be around me and feel that it's good energy. And again, that worked for me.
Mm-hmm. So what else? Let's see. Tell us the story behind, let's jump into this one, McQueen and the Violet Fog.
Well, McQueen's my third. We have 4 brands today, so this would be my third youngest. It's a gin from a little town outside of Sao Paulo, Brazil, called Jundiaí. I didn't do everything I do is always trying to make it better. And if you didn't know, but 99% of all gins come from the UK. And I didn't want to do that. There's got to be better places to make gin. And we found that all the wonderful botanicals in the world come from Latin America. And we found a little distillery outside of Sao Paulo. And we ended up blending 21 different botanicals and 2 different distillation methods. Got the highest rating for a gin. I wanted my inspiration, and it goes back to KC, your example of each brand has a story. McQueen and the Violet Fog reminds me of this old school rock and roll feel. It's like Florence and the Machine. And in fact, on the back of the bottle, if you ever have a chance, there's a poem. And we're probably the only brand in the whole world with a poem on the bottle. And it's about this dope ass rock and roll band called McQueen and the Violet Fog. But there's a cool eye and crown, which is like the Illuminati. It's a wicked taste. But again, it's if you like gin, this is the best. If you don't like gin, try it because it'll change you.
Oh, wow. I do have friends that love are like diehard ginners. So I can call them diehard ginners. That's a word.
To me, that my diehard ginner is Wiz Khalifa. So this is all
yeah. Right. Wiz is that's right. He's probably one of the first artists I've noticed that's just a diehard ginner for sure. Oh
God. He's the person I know who does shots of gin every single day. Shots.
Right. That's crazy.
Relationships are very important to you, Brett. And that's one of the biggest successes that you have with all these artists, right? Who was the easiest to work with, and who was the easiest to approach about one of your brands and basically co-signing with you?
It's a good question. Well, I'll answer the first part first. I love Ross. I think I tell anybody who will listen, who's in the music space, follow his lead, man. This is a guy who a lot of artists will sit back and wait for stuff to come to them, the opportunity to come. Ross is the opposite. Ross, if he has an idea, he'll just go after it. And that's the type of person I want to work with. And that's the type of person, to me, corporate America should want, is that idea of somebody who's I love your brand. I want to do something with you. I love Checkers. He goes after it. I love Wingstop. He went after it. I love, that's him. And I think people should take a page out of his book, go after it. But Ross he's a workaholic. He thinks all the time. He's got ideas. He's a motivator. He's got it all. So Ross is my lead example. Yeah. I think the other is call it, I'm not, and again, using Ross or Wayne as an example, these guys knew my brands before I met them. These guys are my brands before I met them. So then it, quite honestly, it makes the conversation easier because then I want to work with them because they're already supporting me. So, you know, when I saw Kodak Black and he put us in a song called Patty Cake, I'm like, I'd never heard of Kodak, and he's got this song and Bel Air's in it. I'm like, oh, this is amazing. So I went after Kodak. What can I do for this guy? Because he did me a solid, you know, or it can be exactly. So to me, I take responsibility in that I don't want to be the guy who's living off of other people. I want to be the guy who's going after those people who support me. That's what I want.
Nice.
How big of a market is Asia for you? Is Asia important? And do you work with artists in the Asian market as well that you see fit with your brand?
Asia is, I love Asia. I had a brand, I'm sure you guys know Ace of Spades.
Yeah,
yes,
of course. Who doesn't know Ace of Spades?
So that was one of my brands.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But so Asia, I knew that Armand would be bigger in Asia than it is anywhere else in the world, because it fit the motif. It's luxury. It's high end. Right. The model. Not I want to say the model, Casey, but the thing with premium brands is, you know, it's just like the car you drive or the hotel you stay at or the drink you drink. If you're in Paris today, in New York tomorrow, in Singapore the next day, you want the same thing. Mm-hmm. So to me, my brands fit that mold. They're really very premium, and you want to wear them like a badge of honor. So to me, Asia is critical. Bel Air is an example. In Korea, we're about to become the #1 champagne high-end sparkling. Same with Vietnam. That's amazing. That's amazing. So when it comes to artists, it's the same, you know, and I think you both will appreciate it. Hip hop, it doesn't have to be just hip hop, but music supports culture and culture supports lifestyle. So they're all intertwined and it works the same way.
That's awesome. You know, I really want to ask this because I feel like this is the start of somebody maybe creating a beverage brand. Formulation, where do you start? How do you get in there? And how do you know what to, you know, which scientists or places? Do you have your own scientists that you are involved with, that you have your own crew of people formulating beverages nonstop? Or
if you were to visit my office, I would have you in for a tasting every single day. We're tasting every day. We're trying things every day. What typically happens is or my brother will just start drinking a category and we'll start getting into it and trying different brands and seeing what they taste like. What do we like? What do we think the consumer will like? What's the direction we want to go? So if I take Bamboo, our rum, it was exactly that. I wanted to create a really a flavorful kind of a brand where 6 or 7 people were tasting it. And you wrote down what you tasted. You'd all have different answers, a lot of character. And then we started working with distillers and trying to come up with a profile. Then we started figuring out sugarcane from different regions, different countries made a difference. We started blending that and came up with a formula. And that's how we do it with all our brands. The same thing. I try to think about it from the perspective of what does it currently taste like? What do I think the consumer will want, which is what I want. Mm-hmm. And now let's go come up with it.
Beautiful, man.
The reason why I even brought up Asia, you know, is because I was just talking to a few people here who have artists that have been sponsored. They like this woman named Senakana that I had interviewed recently. I had a Bel Air sponsorship for her next fan interview. So that was interesting because it was like, what you had, I was talking to their management team. I said, like, we're going to talk to Brett Berish today. They were excited. They were in the New York office.
But the best part is I didn't even know. Yes. Really, it's the best part because to me, it's like the brand is working. If you know what I mean? Uh-huh. I tell a story about our rum. We're in 70, 80 countries with our rum. Their biggest country outside the US is Canada. No one from my company's ever been there. ever.
Wow.
Holy smokes. Yeah.
That tells, and we do huge business, but that tells me the brand is resonating. People are talking about it. It's working. So it's a powerful thing to have kind of that movement happening with a brand.
Wow. That's are there any artists right now, Brett, that you're eyeing on, or maybe eyeing you, that you're sort of thinking about collaborating with?
It's a strange thing for me to say. I don't look at it that way. It's more about to me, it's more about that organic feel of that relationship. Right. So I interviewed a woman named, or actually her name is Juicy Fruit. I don't know if you know the artist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Her energy is amazing. I love her. I want to support her. I think she's fantastic. But it's her energy that she's bringing. When we did Post Malone, and Post was one of our brand ambassadors on Bel Air, he had White Iverson, and that's the only song. I loved him. His energy
before the tattoos. Post before the tattoos. That's what I like to call it.
Exactly. But again, though, it's a feeling of, I like these people. I want to work with them. That's where it starts, because I'm not looking at it based on Jesus, he's really hot or she's really hot, because I have no idea if that's going to work or not. But if I know them and it feels right, and they're excited about what we're doing, or they tell me stories about when they first picked up the brand, and they remember when they celebrated in a certain way, that's a relationship I want to have.
Is it true that you're going to be starting a line of beers? Is this true, or are you creating a line of beer?
Are you trying to get me to create one?
I mean, a lot of people in Hawaii, that's what they do. They drink beer.
Right. I have definitely been toying with it. I'm not close yet, but I'm definitely toying with that idea. It's something on my personal plate, because I am a big beer drinker. And we came up with something pretty neat. I'll have to see if we get there on doing that category, which is the RTT category. So ready to drink. But that's a different lane, and I have to get comfortable with it.
Yeah. That's good. Well, I like
the fact that you're toying with it. Shows me there's a lot of interest.
It's one of these things, guys, where I want to do it if I really think I can achieve, if I can get in there in a good way. So I have to believe in myself and what we're doing, and I got to feel confident, because again, I have to look you in the eye and be like, this is a great product. You have to try this. This can be your brand.
So what is your take on the a new entrepreneur coming in, and they're coming to you like, hey, I got this great idea, where does it go from there? I'm sure a lot of people are hitting you up because they see your success story, and of course they may have good ideas. Do you invest in others? Are you stepping out? Just give me advice.
I talk to all the people all the time. I want them to hear my story. I want them to hear the negative side of what's happened. Everything from I lost my house to I had my bank account swept by the IRS because I stopped paying my taxes, because I put all my money back in the business. I stopped paying my mortgage for the same reason. Like, it sucked. And it was hard work. So typically, you may look at me and think, Jesus, he's always been successful. And I don't want to tell that side. I think I get motivated by hearing the struggle side. So that's the first thing I'd want him to know. Like, if it's easy, God bless, but it wasn't easy.
Yeah.
And you got to grind it out and keep doing it and keep trying. I was in an interview with Nina in Vegas. And she was telling me, gosh, your industry is so hard. All industries are hard. There's not one that's easy. So I think just going in, you got to know you're on an equal playing field. You can will your way to anything.
There's a lot of negative sides to owning a business, running a business, but
I felt like he was describing marriage. You got to continuously work at it.
Right? Everything goes back to marriage, right?
Yeah, it's just like a marriage. You got to it's going to get rough, but if you fight through it, you will reap the benefits. I go to marriage groups at church, and that's kind of like what you got to keep.
And I equate it to, and I said this at the beginning, to having kids. a brand or what you do in life is in the beginning, early stages, you got to micromanage the hell out of it. And you got to figure it out and get them to stand up by themselves and get them to walk by themselves. And you just got to keep getting there to the point that they're kind of on their own. And that's what, to me, these brands are. That's how I think about business.
Do you ever get tired, just like marriage, just like wives, just like girlfriends? Do you ever get tired of anyone?
No, sure. I just play. I'm just kidding.
I've been, I was in a relationship for 7 years and I sort of got tired of it. I mean, was not happy. I mean, do you move on and do you create another one? What do you do, Brett?
It's a good question. I'm probably more excited about the stuff that doesn't exist yet.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like the stuff I'm working on. But then all of a sudden I'll get an idea on one of the existing brands. We're like, oh my gosh, this could be great for us, or this could be huge. Or when the Los Angeles Rams won the Super Bowl and celebrate, I don't know if you saw, they celebrated with Bel Air.
Yes.
Aaron Darnold and and Coach McAfee, they all celebrate with Bel Air. It's like, oh my God, that energy that they just gave off is just amazing. And, or we just gave out, I don't know if you guys saw what we did, this self-made interview with Rick Ross, Wiz Khalifa, DJ Khaled, and Lil Wayne, like that was just put out. So like the energy that comes off that. So like little things get me going again. So like I need constant, what I call this ammunition.
Reassurance about, the current brand or wife or girlfriend.
I think things just get you excited. You get pumped, when you're starting a new brand, you're doing the interviews, you're meeting with everybody, you're getting pumped.
And I'm the type of person that I get my ideas from these conversations, from talking to people, from being out there. I need that interaction because that's what my brands are.
Speaking of ideas, Brett, tell me if this is a bad idea.
Yep.
No idea is a bad idea in the brainstorming meeting.
I was drinking
that's a
mimosas at a restaurant here. And there was a mimosa that was made with orange and the other one was with pineapple. And the pineapple one seemed to have been the favorite of the group of people I was with. So it was champagne and pineapple. And I said, what if I came up with a drink called Pomosa?
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, Pomosa. And
you don't have to lie to him, you can be like,
you don't have to lie to me. Pomosa, the beverage, would that work, Brad? Tell me, come on, right off the bat.
I think, well, I love, again,
ready-made mimosa with pineapple.
But what happens, Casey, is you need that spark. And that's what happens with brands, right? Like a name can give you a spark. It gives you that inspiration. So the name works. I definitely agree. Then it becomes, well, what is it then? Now you have to start focusing. Is it an RTD drink? Is it a flavored, is it flavored sparkling in some way?
Right.
Or is it just a cocktail? Maybe you came up with a great name for a cocktail. But again, that's how it happens. That's how it happens. So run with it.
All right. Okay. I'm going to.
I'm going to try it. I like it.
Pineapple and champagne.
Have
you been to Hawaii ever, or?
Of course.
Oh yeah.
I've been to the Big Island, Oahu, Maui, and the Big Island.
When do you plan on coming back here? We're opening up.
I would love to. My nephew was just there. He works for us. Last time I was there was maybe 2.5 years ago at the Disney Resort.
You stayed at the Aulani.
Yeah. I love it.
What's your favorite part about? We live on Oahu. What is your favorite part about Hawaii? I would say.
The Big Island. When I first went there, I was blown away that you can go to a rainforest. You can go it feels like you're on the moon when you see the
telescopes.
No, the ashes, the black tar of the volcano.
Black sand.
Yeah,
volcano.
You can go to the beach. You can go to I think it has the biggest.
It snows up there as well, by the way. It snows up there, and then you go down, thousands of feet. Now look, you got sunny sunshine Hawaii, and then you have snow up at the very top of the crater.
But doesn't it also have like the biggest cattle ranch in the United States?
Yeah, we do have a huge cattle ranch.
Yeah, so like
Big island.
you can be in all these places in one place on that island. It's amazing. I absolutely loved it.
And it's very country.
It's true.
Yeah. The only thing was disappointing is, and when I took a drive to try to go see the lava coming out into the water, I think you're going to get so close, but you're still miles and miles away.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Wait, you actually went? You went to go watch the lava?
I thought we could get really close. Like really far, but I was blown away by the lava because it looks like it just happened.
Yeah.
20 years ago. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Tell you something,
It's got that shininess, blackness, almost like the skin of an elephant.
Yeah.
So there's a volcanic eruption that's been happening, and new islands are being formed, which is like what happened thousands and thousands of years ago, right? And new islands are being formed on the Big Island.
I think what Casey's trying to say, can we put our money together and buy one?
Yes. Or maybe that could be a name, idea. Maybe, something that is going to be named after one of the islands here.
Exactly. Again, that's where it starts. That's where it starts. Is you come up, this is where you get inspiration from.
Right. Yeah. So if you can give any advice to any upcoming entrepreneurs, what would you say would be the best advice you can give, and summed up, I would say?
Oh God, I live by so many things. I think one, I said this earlier, trust your own instincts. If you're going to do it yourself, if you're going to get into something, I have a saying for me, if anybody's going to screw it up, I want it to be me.
Yeah. I love it.
I think that, and the other one is you rely on yourself. You can, if you're waiting for other people to come through, if they do, fantastic, but don't wait.
Yeah.
Just rely on you to get it done. You have to. So I've been burned so many times just waiting for somebody else who I thought would help me, who thought would come through, and that's my mistake. It's not their fault, it's my fault.
That's fun. That's so true, because I have a lot of friends that in the music industry that are trying to come up, and they wait on people to do things for them. And that's one of the things, like for me, I was the same way. I had to teach myself how to video edit. I had to go teach myself how to do Photoshop. I had to teach myself all these. I had to teach myself how to DJ, because I would go to the, one of the things, I used to go to the clubs, and DJs were so rude to everybody. They never wanted to take requests. I'm not saying all DJs, but some, and while we were there, I was like, man, why are they so mean? Like, just take the request, play the song. If it works, if it fits in, so I taught myself to DJ for that sole purpose.
But what happens is then you're able to do more. You're able to get it done. You're able to make it happen. And I've done everything and everything imaginable, from having a fake assistant and having a,
Really? Wait, what? You had a fake? How do you have a fake assistant?
Better than that, I had a commercial director. My company doesn't even know. I had a commercial director for international. His name was Stuart Weston. And he'd negotiate with so many different countries in the world. And he would come back and share his success stories with the rest of the team. And I remember my dad is like, Jesus, Stuart's killing it. He's just killing it. And then my other commercial director, Gerald, is like, when did you hire this guy? I thought that was my job. It was me. But I couldn't be the guy making those calls.
Holy smokes.
But you gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Yeah.
You gotta help yourself get it done. And that's
right. Hey, Brett.
That's a genius idea. No, really, if you make your, why? Because my wife told me, because I own this other business, and she told me, you need to figure out your accounting and all this kind of stuff. And, she's like, and she's really good at it. She's great at doing the accounting and great with numbers, and she runs all our finances. And, she's why we ended up getting our first house and yada, yada, yada. So, she's good with all these numbers. Cause me, I used to just wake up and my money would be gone. But I'm a lot better now. I know not to spend. I know a lot. I'm a lot smarter now, but I lost my train of thought. But what she's saying is, she's like, you go find somebody. I was like, I don't, she's like, get somebody to do it for free. I was like, if I get somebody to run my money for free, they might walk away with it. They might be like, well, you're bringing in this much. Yeah, I'm going to take my cut.
I get it. You got to do it.
Yeah. So now we were just having this conversation yesterday, and now I'm like, I would love for her to do it because she's great at it. And she's, she's been to many seminars and she's perfected it, but now it's like, she's trying to tell me to do it. And I'm like,
Hey, Brett, if you could do it all over again, Brett, what would you do differently? If you could do it all over again?
I would have.
You'd move to Hawaii, KC.
I'd move to Hawaii. I would have. I wish I would have realized earlier that to have patience. That stuff doesn't happen overnight. I got to have patience. I wish I would have trusted my instincts more. I think trust my own thoughts and feelings more. I think the last one, which I think is critical, is, and I'll use this as a music example. When I talk to artists and I ask them what their most successful commercial song, did they ever think it was going to be that successful? And 99% of the time they say they hated that song. They never thought it was going to work. And that tells me just try stuff. Try stuff, because you don't know. You don't know until you put it out there. So, I don't know. Have you guys seen this, the Blue Bottle?
No, we have not seen the Blue Bottle.
This is the single hottest brand in the United States. It's killing it. Wine or spirits, this Bel Air Blue. And
that looks beautiful.
It's amazing. Tastes amazing, looks amazing. If I hadn't just tried it, I would never have had this conversation where I'm having this much success.
Blue. So you got you showed us the black bottle. Okay. Revolutionary.
The black bottle rosé.
Yep. Now we got the gold.
That's the Brut Gold. That's our, if you like dry and brut, that's our Brut Gold.
We actually had a whole case of that over here at the station.
Can we open one up?
I'm not joking. I brought the case. We had it here.
I love it.
I brought a whole bunch of cups here, so I could try every one of them.
Yeah.
And
so
behind the gold, you've got Lux, I think, the white bottle.
Yep. Let's check out the white bottle.
That's Lux. So falls into the demi-sec category, which means it's just a little sweeter than your Brut.
Nice, beautiful.
And then, I don't know if we've got Lux Rosé, which is a pink, which is a little bit sweeter rosé, and then that blue one we just released last year.
Wow.
Which one is your favorite, Brett?
Of all the brands?
Yeah.
You can't pick a favorite child, can you?
You can, right?
You can.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Try my rum. Try Bamboo.
Bamboo. Oh, you know how to open cork rum?
I do not.
Try Bamboo. If you don't like rum or never tried rum or love rum, this is the best. It's got so many gold medals. It's won every single award imaginable. It's amazing. And you can drink it straight. You can do pina coladas and margaritas and dark and stormy. It's got everything.
So, Brett, we're in a studio. This is called the iHeartRadio Music Hall. We should give you a little tour here, but this is where some of the artists come. When they come to town, they perform here. Like Bruno Mars would perform here. And,
love it.
And we've got everything set up. We have a bar in the back and seats. So, this is a perfect place to basically try everything out.
Exactly.
Your brand's out here. All right, Romes. Pour me one, Romes.
All right, Sizzle.
We'll get you stocked, guys.
Bamboo spelled differently, by the way. Bamboo. Okay, it's spelled B-U-M-B-U.
Correct.
Very popular rum.
I'm gonna drink with you guys. Do you mind? and remember, Casey, remember you're drinking it straight.
It's got a sweetness to it. Cheers, Brett.
Cheers, guys. Cheers.
Cheers.
Isn't it nice?
You're official.
I love it. It's, I thought it would be. This is like it goes down smoothly, Brett. Yep. And I know because I love to drink.
This is, you can, if you like cognac, this kills it. if you like any brown spirit, this is the greatest single brown spirit. It's just the fact that you can drink it straight. No, there's no ice.
Yes.
It's got so much character, but yet you can mix it. And then if you have a chance, I've got this one. One day, try this, which is our Bamboo XO. It's our black bottle.
Okay.
So this would taste like a big fat cigar or like dark chocolate. It's big, it's the opposite, which is big and robust, kind of dry.
Yeah.
But two totally different products. And that's what I want.
Goes down smooth, easy, and a tinge of sweetness to it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Anyway, this is man, this has been an amazing, conversation with you, Brett. This is the kind of guy I'd love to sit down and
I know we just want to be friends with this guy.
We could have a conversation forever, Brett, and just sit down at a bar.
I will come and visit you in Hawaii, I promise, and we will do exactly that. And I'll come to the studio if you'll allow me.
Of course, man.
Nice.
Our home is your home, man. You come anytime. It's the aloha spirit out here.
Casa is a casa.
Our hale is your hale.
Right. Our hale is your hale. That was Spanish.
Huh?
I said Spanish and you did it in Hawaiian. So
yeah.
You used Hawaiian. Hale means house, Brett.
Okay. All right.
Or home, yeah.
Or home. But man, it's been so fascinating talking. This is one of the most fascinating guys in this space right here. Is Brett Berish. We appreciate you talking with us, Brett.
Thank you, guys. Really appreciate you having me on. Stay healthy, keep drinking, and have me back when I come out with my next two brands. All right.
Yes. Yeah. Come on. Hit us up anytime. Let's build a relationship. We can be your friends from Hawaii.
This is how it starts. We need our brand ambassadors in Hawaii.
Right.
Perfect. And you got the guys. So appreciate you, Brett, man. This has been awesome. We were very excited to meet you and be able to talk story and hear your story in person.
Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it. Have a wonderful weekend and let's keep grinding.
Yes, sir.
This
Let's do it.
Been, another edition of Blueprint Boulevard with Brett Berish. Right here on 93.9 The Beat, Hawaii's #1 for hip hop. Thank you, Brett. Appreciate that. And as we say here, aloha.
Aloha.
Yeah,
Brett Berish.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Appreciate you. All right, aloha.